Hey everyone, welcome back to Wasted Paycheck Garage. This is part 2 of my ZF5 swap. It's been a week since I pulled the transmission out, and it's Sunday again. I didn't have to work today, so I crawled underneath the truck and I pulled the starter and pulled the bell housing and then dropped the clutch out. I think sometime this week, maybe tomorrow, I'll drive down to South Bend, talk to the guys down at South Bend Clutch and see what they think. But I got the clutch out. It's not the worst clutch I've ever seen, but it's definitely been slipping. There's a little bit of discoloration. The flywheel and everything's a little bit grooved. Pressure plate's a little grooved, but I mean, it's been in the truck a long time, so I'm not surprised. Here's what we're working with. Obviously, my rear main was leaking because, well, you can tell because of the way that it is. Everything just looks greasy and a little worn out. Here's the flywheel. Here's my clutch disc. And the pressure plate, you can definitely see discoloration there. It's been slipping for a while, so I'm not surprised. But no worries, get a new clutch anyway. Going on South Bend, see what they say, and then hopefully next weekend or maybe this week sometime I can throw a new clutch in it, and then we can start putting the ZF5 in, and then I have to figure out what I'm going to do for a master and a slave and hooking that up to the pedal. While this clutch is out, I got to work on my rear main. Obviously it's leaking. I want to take care of that. I'm trying to get rid of all these oil leaks. It's got quite a few, but someone's been in here before because there's RTV over here, but this isn't the original engine in this truck, so I'm not surprised. But making progress. Alright guys, it's been about a week since I've recorded anything. I think it was when I took that clutch out of the truck. Turns out that was an 11-inch clutch. I just assumed it was 10. I guess I should have measured, but I took it down to South Bend. We measured, figured out it was an 11-inch clutch, and they already got me my new clutch. They machined, drilled, and tapped my flywheel and balanced it. So I'm going to a diaphragm style pressure plate, kind of a Chevy style, and it's a 11-inch ceramic disc, and they surfaced the flywheel, so that's all in this box here ready to go. I just put a rear main in the truck. I'm getting ready to throw that shield up there. I'm going to clean that up, throw that shield up there, and torque the flywheel down. And then I can start throwing the clutch in there, and next I get to throw the transmission in, and then move that cross member and see what holes I got to drill and what kind of fabrication I got to do. As far as I know, that cross member will work. I just have to move it 3 inches back and drill new holes. I even read some people had the one hole lineup and they only had to drill one hole in the back for the next one. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, prepared to do whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm too far and I'm not going back, so I just gotta figure it out as I go. But I'll show you guys that clutch, and then I'm gonna start throwing that together. So here's what we got going on for a clutch. Like I said, we're sticking with a 11-inch clutch. This time we're going ceramic. It's a nice looking clutch, as far as I'm concerned. And we are going with the diaphragm style pressure plate. These bite a lot harder than the 3-arm kind. The only thing is they had to drill and tap the flywheel because the old holes didn't line up, but that's no big deal. So I got the flywheel all resurfaced, balanced. Gonna throw that shield in, and then throw this flywheel in, torque it up, and then we're ready to put the clutch in. Alright, I just got the rear main in. I'm gonna tighten up these oil pan bolts back here just to make sure those aren't loose. It's got a new oil pan gasket in it, but it's leaking a little bit. I'm not sure if the bolts are loose. I didn't RTV it when I put it in there, so that could be part of it. I'm starting to wish I would have, but anyway. New rear main's in, old one's over here. I don't know if there's anything wrong with it or not, but I figured since it's been here, I might as well put one in. The pilot bushing is good. It's not oval or anything, it's not wore out. Alright guys, so I got the rear main in, and I determined that the oil pan was also leaking. And it's a brand new gasket, and I can't drop the oil pan without pulling the motor. I loosened up the motor mounts, and I jacked the front of the motor up so I can get some clearance under that cross member. I loosened all the pan bolts and dropped this pan down enough, and I smeared some RTV on here, and I took a screwdriver and layered it in on both sides of the gaskets. And so I'm hoping this will go ahead and take care of that. I'm really tired of having oil leaks, but I'm not about to pull the motor out, so this is about as good as it's gonna get. So now that we're done with that, I gotta put all those bolts back in, tighten the oil pan up, make sure they're tightened up good and even all the way around. I'll put the motor mount bolts back in it, and then I can start putting that flywheel on. Alright guys, here's what we got going on. Clutch is in, it's aligned, everything's torqued. Next up, I think I'm gonna try and slide that transmission in, see how it fits. Make sure that shaft slides in, and then I'll have to put a jack under it, and then I can slide this cross member forward and see how everything's gonna line up. Alright guys, it's been a couple days, but I just got the transmission in the truck. I ended up making a plate to go on the floor jack. So we weren't trying to balance it on this cup, and I ended up making an extension too, because the floor jack wouldn't reach the transmission before. So I got that taken care of, made it a little easier, and I got the transmission in with a little bit of help. And next up, I'm gonna have to slide this cross member forward, see where everything's gonna line up. Probably nothing's gonna line up, but we'll see what we have to do to make it fit, and probably jack the transmission up a little more. And then next up, I just gotta make that hydraulic clutch work. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for a master cylinder, figure out what I'm gonna do for clutch linkage, and after that, we're home free, driving a 5-speed. Overall, it fits pretty good in here. I was a little worried about clearance for the transmission tunnel and the firewall and stuff like that, but it looks like everything's gonna clear. Everything fits pretty good in here. I am gonna have to make that tunnel a little bigger, but no problem. Just have to modify it a little bit, but that's how it's gonna look. That's it for today's video. On the next video, we're gonna make that cross member work, make that clutch and the master cylinder work, and then after that, I can start putting the truck back together. And then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for drive shafts. But I think the heavy lifting part is done. Now I just gotta start using my brain and make everything work together. But I think we'll get it figured out and get this thing back on the road. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this has been Wasted Paycheck Garage.